Hello, welcome back to Hidden Gems. My name is Arden Thomas. I'm the Cincom Smalltalk Product Manager. If you have any suggestions, questions, want the code, please contact me at athomas@cincom.com. So today is a really special topic, one that I think is really a neat capability. Remember, Hidden Gems is where we show you capabilities of the product that you may or may not be aware of, but if you're not, we think you will really benefit from knowing about them. Today's topic is on the dynamic construction of application interfaces. So this will show you how to add widgets to a running application or how to build it up when you first start it programmatically. And this is a really powerful ability of Cincom Smalltalk. I always like to say you can do anything in Smalltalk. This is one of those things that gives you a lot of power. And as always with Smalltalk, it's not hard once you have an example of how to do that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to give you that. We're going to show you exactly how to do that. And this is one thing, if you're an interface developer, you definitely want this in your toolkit for solving some really difficult problems. So this basically piggybacks off another. You may have seen we also have a Quantitative Gems screencast where we show you how to do quantitative and numerical analysis using Smalltalk. And that's aimed at non-small talkers, but this screencast is for small talkers. So first on Twitter, I found a chart from this tag LPL chart of the day, and let me show you what, in case you want to try to find it, let me show you what it looks like. So this shows you a big table color-coded for a day of the month for these months from all this time, the average return that you get for each day of the S&P 500. I thought, wow, what a neat, what a great amount of information in one interface. I'd like to build that in Smalltalk. So we do that. And when I first started looking at it, I thought, well, we could use a data set, but that wouldn't give me all the capability I really wanted. Let me show you the example I built. It's right here. Similar, we have the days of the month, the months of the year, and for each of those, the average return on that day. I also have a little box around the current date. So we can see right now it's November 20th. So how do we build this? This is actually, each one of these is a button. And each one is color-coded. The brighter the green means it's a larger number. The brighter the red means it's a larger negative number. So let's show you how we do that. I'm going to come here and click on. We have a Hidden Gems on Pragmas, which shows you how to do something like this, which just gives you a subset of work in a browser and how to create an icon for that. So I'm going to go to find this app right here, Daily Returns app. And what we first do, I have no initialize, so I'm going to go to Interface Opening. And we do in Post Open With, it passes in a builder. We're going to use that builder. We do Super Post Open With, then I build the calendar. This is for some other things I do with resizing, not critical. But let's go check out this build calendar with. So build calendar with. Well, first we build the returns, and I can find that. Let's put a halt in here and open this up. My returns. I simply get returns by month day. We get the daily returns. So what this gives me right here. Let's take a look at this. For each month and day, it gives me all the returns from the past. And this, for my example, goes back, the example we looked at, they had the data going back to 1950. Mine starts in 1963, so the numbers will be slightly different. But this is the return for each January 2nd. These are the returns that I've gathered. And of course, some days of the year it falls on a weekend, so you may not have it for particular years. We go through that. Okay, let me start back up here. Build the calendar header. So I first want to get my column width percent. And I have the 12 months of the year plus an additional column. So I have 13 columns. Column size is 13. And it's simply 1 over 13. That's the width of each column, right? 1 over 13. And how many? I have 31 plus another, so I should have 32 rows. Row height, row size is 32. 1 over that, so that's the percent that I'm going to use for building a layout frame. My headers short are just going to be the months, the short months, which are Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. So the max I have is 5 characters here, and then if I wanted to go with longer ones, when I expand it, I can have the full month. But let's see the important part we're getting to right now, and that is, let's see, 1 to column size. Do layout frame. My layout frame here is just an empty layout frame with everything set to 0. So that's basically just an empty one. I put it as a method for convenience. Now, my header, the first one, is going to be column -1 times the width percent, and the right side of it will be the column times the width percent, all the way across. Top fraction is always going to be 0, and the bottom will be the row height percent. So I basically walk through and build up my layout frame. Now I'm going to build a spec. This is my action button spec, the specification for the button that I'm going to add. So let's see what that looks like. I'm giving an empty block as the model. The label is going to be the row header short, so it'll be these things you see right up here. And the layout is my layout frame, and that creates the specification. The spec style, that has to do with the font that I'm using. I give it a name in case I want to get that programmatically or dynamically. And colors, you'll see I end up setting, well, the colors are more interesting here. I just use a header color, which is this blue, but later on I'll use different colors depending on the value for each one. But then here's what I do. So I have a layout, I build a spec, which is an action button spec. I build that up, and then I tell the builder, which was passed in through the standard application API, I say builder add spec. And I did that before, so I can see after I've done all this, I end up with this. Let's go to our next. We did the header. Let's go do basically the same thing for our first column. I'm going to go through there, and what this does is this right here, 1 through 31. Finally, we build the body, get my column width and my row height, and I basically do exactly the same thing. Get an empty layout frame, give it the left, right, top, and bottom for the layout. I'm getting a return string here. Let's pop into here. So let's see, my return value, right now is 0. If it's 0, give an empty string. So that's my return string. Then I build an action button. Here's your label is the string, and your layout is what we just built up. And then we also set a background color depending on the value. So let's go through that. I did that, and that's what we have. Also note, because we gave fractions for all this, if you increase the size, everything automatically adjusts. Everything automatically adjusts because we've given each button where it belongs as a fraction of where it belongs, not a fixed amount that we can't change. So that gives you additional flexibility. And last thing, I build the date ring. So let's see, I get a region spec. I set the line width to 6. I set the foreground color to color value yellow, and I add that spec. And when I do that, it gives me this highlight right here. Later on, we'll add some ability. Once we press one of these, we'll give the ability to show all the values for that month-day combination. So that is basically the technique. You want to have that in your toolbox if you're a developer. We built up this interface, and it's pretty much a 3-step thing. Let's recap. You can do anything in Smalltalk. This is where we're dynamically constructing the interface, and it's basically a 3-step thing. We create a layout, and we set the... Here I wanted to be able to resize it, so I gave a left, right, top, and bottom fraction so the window could be resized. You could also do it with fixed amounts, combinations, etc. Build the layout, build the specification for the widget, which we did right here, and you can do this with, I believe, virtually all the widgets that are available. I'm using VisualWorks here. And then finally, add the spec, give the builder the spec. Builder, add the spec, and that dynamically adds this. So you could have a running application and dynamically add things, or in this, I'm building it basically as the application is opened. If you want the code as an example, or you want to send any comments, suggestions, please send them to me, Arden Thomas, athomas@cincom.com. I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, have a great time with Cincom Smalltalk. Thank you.